Good day, Year 8, and welcome to week 2 of your project. The next 2 slides are just reminders of your project and the structure of it. I've also added in the YouTube link in this slide in the yellow box, as I hear some of you couldn't get the hyperlink going. So once you've done this and read through it again, just to remind yourself, please continue to the next slide. So each week you'll need to complete a task or set of tasks that are based around your travels. So whether that is visiting a cultural site, or staying in a certain type of accommodation, or doing a certain type of activity. Obviously, each one of you will individually pick a different route to take depending on what interests you, and so you'll need to adapt your plans each week to accommodate these new challenges. Each week of planning, so each school week that we have, each lesson, you'll need to plan for 4 days worth of travel. So although you will have 4 weeks to plan your adventures, you will only need to plan for 16 days worth of travel. Each week you'll also need to write a diary entry for each day explaining where you started your day, where you ended your day, and what you got up to and may have seen during your day, as well as keep a tight budget of how you're spending your money each day. Your information will then need to be compiled in a PowerPoint, or you can use a PowerToon or any form of presentation software that will allow you to go through the different steps and chronological order of your journey. Your budget for the entire trip will be 8,000 dirhams, so that includes the flights to and from India and the hiring or buying of a car. And your road trip will take you from New Delhi in the north to Madurai in the south. So that will be your starting and end point of your project. So this week's challenge is you'll need to make your way to Mumbai. Many of you took different routes coming from New Delhi, and so you'll now need to reroute your route to try and get to Mumbai. Many of the other tasks for this week are similar to last week's. So making your way to your destination, finding a tourist attraction, and then moving along to the next place. But this week's challenge about Mumbai is slightly different, and you'll need to go to the next slide to find out more about that. So your challenge for this week is to visit and research the area of Dharavi in Mumbai. There is a little bit of information there in the green text box, as well as a link to another article about it in the top right-hand corner. You'll also find a Word document in the folder where you found this PowerPoint that will give you some more information about Dharavi, and there are snippets from a range of different articles that you can go visit to read more about. So this week's challenge is to list the positive and negative impacts that Dharavi has on the city of Mumbai. If you've got any solutions to the problems that you'd like to write down, you may also include that. And that'll be part of your diary entry for whichever day you decide to visit Mumbai. If you'd like more of a challenge, I'd like you to please ride the Mumbai monorail and write down a little bit about the history of the monorail and compare the level of infrastructure of this compared to that is available to the people in Dharavi. Once you've completed this, make sure that you go back to the slide before and tick off all the boxes to make sure that you've completed everything for this week. Make sure that you have accounted for your trip to Mumbai, including your diary entries and your budgeting, as well as the route that you've taken. Also, please make sure that you've completed these challenges, that you've visited a tourist attraction and told me a bit more about it. And then please start making your way towards Bengaluru or Bangalore. This is quite a long trip, so you might want to take a few days to get there, maybe stop off along the road for a night or two. Please make sure that you account for that in your diary entries, and then you can get ready for next week's challenges. And finally, here's the mark scheme of your project. You have the weekly challenges column, the budget, diary, and travel log column, as well as the column dedicated to the overall presentation and the chronology of your project. So making sure that everything you've put down is in the right time order. Everything is ×4 because it is a 4-week-long project. So each week you'll upload the new days that you have completed in your journey, and you'll get a new mark for that, giving you a total of 16 for weekly challenges, 24 for budget, diary, and travel log, and a total of 12 for the overall presentation and chronology. Good luck, guys. I'm really excited to see the projects that you put together. together, please feel free to ask myself and Ms. Shipper for help along the way, and we're more than happy to give you some advice and some pointers to put together the best projects that you can.